All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling something that's, I think, pretty near and dear to a lot of our listeners. We're going to be talking about building a real business on eBay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you've got the hustle down, you're moving some merch, but now you're ready to level up,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, we're here to help you transition from, a casual seller to an efficient and importantly, a legal eBay operation.
Right. And when we say legal, we're diving into the stuff that a lot of people kind of overlook at first, like taxes and business structures.
Yeah, the whole shebang.
Yeah, the whole shebang.
It can feel a little overwhelming at first, but getting this right from the start can save you so much hassle down the road.
Right.
And it's not as complicated as you might think.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Yeah.
First up, the legal side. What's the biggest misconception that you see people having when they start selling on eBay?
I think the biggest one is that, people think it's just an online yard sale. And while that might be true, when you're just clearing out your closet, once you start to make consistent income, it becomes a business in the eyes of the law.
Right, meaning, yep, you guessed it, taxes.
Taxes.
It's so easy to forget about that when you're caught up in the, excitement of making sales.
Yeah.
So what are the key things that people need to know about taxes and eBay?
Well, first off, you are going to owe income tax on your profits.
Okay.
And depending on your state and what you're selling, you might have to collect sales tax, too, and pay sales tax.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the 1099-K.
Oh, yeah.
This is a form that eBay is now required to send to the IRS for anyone who makes over $600 in a year through the platform.
Right. So even if you're just doing this as a side hustle for now, you've got to, keep those records in order.
Yeah, no more shoe boxes full of crumpled receipts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And the good news is there are tons of tools to make record-keeping a breeze.
Okay, spill the beans. What are your top recommendations?
Well, for starters, everyone should be familiar with eBay's Seller Hub reports.
Okay.
These track all your sales and your fees and even expenses. You can download these reports and easily import them into accounting software.
Okay, so those reports become the foundation for your tax records, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay. What about the software itself? What are some good options for eBay sellers?
It really depends on your tech comfort level. And how much you're willing to spend.
Right.
There are simple spreadsheet templates you can find online for free. But if you're looking for something more robust, cloud-based software like QuickBooks Self-Employed or GoDaddy Bookkeeping are popular choices for eBay sellers.
Okay, so you've got the records part down, but I'm curious, does the legal structure of your business come into play at all here? Like sole proprietor versus LLC?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Choosing the right legal structure can impact your liability, how you pay taxes, and even what kind of business licenses you might need. If you're serious about growing your eBay business, it's worth consulting with an accountant or lawyer to figure out the best setup for your specific situation.
Yeah, definitely solid advice.
Yeah.
Especially as you start to scale up. Speaking of scaling, let's move on to something a bit more fun. Creating your eBay HQ.
Yes.
Now, I imagine, some folks are starting out at their kitchen table, but when does it make sense to actually create a dedicated workspace?
It really depends on your volume and what you're selling. If you're, tripping over boxes in your living room or, packing orders is taking over your evenings, it might be time to think about, a dedicated space.
Okay. What are some of the benefits of having a dedicated eBay HQ?
Well, for one, it can help you be more organized and efficient. Having a dedicated space for inventory storage, a packing station, and all your shipping supplies can really streamline your operations.
Right. And it probably helps mentally too, right? Like you're stepping into your work zone.
Yeah.
And you can really focus on the task at hand.
Exactly. It can also help you feel more professional.
Right.
And it kind of signals to yourself and to others that you're serious about your business.
Yeah.
It can even impact your taxes as you might be able to deduct expenses related to your home office.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Now, when it comes to actually setting up your HQ, what are some things people should consider?
Well, the first thing is space. Do you have a spare room you can dedicate, or will you need to carve out a corner of your basement or garage?
Right. I love the idea of having a cool, customized space, but you don't need anything fancy to start.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's functional and organized.
Exactly.
Right.
Next, you want to think about your workflow.
Okay.
How do you receive inventory? Where do you store it? Where do you pack orders?
You basically want to create a mini warehouse that's optimized for eBay selling.
Right. Invest in some good shelving units for inventory storage,
Mm-hmm.
a sturdy packing table, and all the essential packing supplies. Boxes, bubble wrap, tape, you name it.
It's like a mini assembly line for your eBay business.
Right.
And don't forget about technology. A good printer for shipping labels, a reliable computer,
Yes,
and maybe even a label maker can make a world of difference.
absolutely. And as your business grows, you might even consider investing in inventory management software
Ooh.
to help you track stock levels and avoid overselling.
Oh, that's a great point. I can see how that would get, like, really tricky as you start to scale.
Yeah.
So you've got your eBay HQ set up, your inventory's organized, you're a master of record keeping. What's next?
Well, if you're really ambitious, you might start thinking about expanding beyond eBay.
Oh, interesting. Expanding beyond eBay. You mean like there's life outside of this wonderful platform?
There is, and it can be a really smart move for growing your business. Think of it this way. eBay's your home base,
Okay.
but why limit yourself to just one neighborhood? There are other markets out there with different customers and vibes.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of these alternative platforms. Where should someone even start looking?
It really depends on what you're selling.
Okay.
If you're moving new retail or wholesale items, Amazon is the giant in the room.
Right.
They've got a massive audience, and their fulfillment program, FBA, can be a game changer.
Okay.
They basically send your inventory to their warehouses, and they handle all the storage, packing, and shipping for you.
Oh, wow. So it's kind of like outsourcing your shipping department to Amazon.
Exactly.
Okay, that sounds pretty appealing, especially if you're dealing with like a high volume of orders.
Absolutely. But Amazon isn't the right fit for everyone.
Right.
If you're more into handmade or vintage goods,
Okay.
Etsy might be more your speed. It's got a totally different feel.
Yeah.
Very creative, community-driven, focused on unique and handcrafted items.
I love browsing Etsy for gifts. It's like amazing what people are making these days.
I know, right?
Okay, so we've got Amazon for the big leagues, Etsy for the artisans. What about other options?
Well, don't underestimate the power of local selling.
Yeah.
Platforms like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist can be great for larger items
Mm-hmm.
or things that are difficult to ship.
Right, because sometimes the shipping costs can just eat into your profits,
Mm-hmm.
especially for bulky items.
Exactly.
Plus, with local sales, you get that, like, instant gratification of the money right away,
Right. Yeah,
and you don't have to deal with returns as much.
exactly. It's all about those quick local transactions.
Yeah. Now, if your niche is fashion,
Yes.
then platforms like Poshmark and Depop are worth checking out. Poshmark is all about clothing and accessories, especially like trendy or designer brands. They've got like a really active social community built right into the platform.
Yeah, it's huge.
So it's kind of like Instagram meets eBay.
A little bit, yeah.
I can see how that would be like very appealing for fashion lovers. What about Depop? How is that different?
Depop has a younger, trendier vibe and is known for its curated selection of vintage and one-of-a-kind clothing. It's a great platform for sellers who have a unique style and want to showcase their personal aesthetic.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so we've got options for the fashionistas, the artisans, and the local sellers. What if you're selling like general merchandise and want something similar to eBay, but maybe with a smaller, more focused audience?
In that case, you might check out Bonanza.
Amanda, okay.
You can actually import your eBay listings directly into Bonanza.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really easy way to expand your reach without having to create new listings from scratch.
Oh, that's handy. What about Mercari? I've heard that name thrown around a lot. What's their deal?
Mercari is another great option for general merchandise. It's known for its simple interface,
Right.
easy shipping options, and relatively low fees. It's a good all-around platform for a variety of items.
Awesome. So there really are a ton of options out there. It sounds like the key is to like research each platform carefully and figure out which one aligns best with, what you're selling and who your target audience is.
Absolutely. It's also smart to think about your business goals.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking to, move volume, build a brand, offer a more personalized experience?
Right.
Each platform has its own strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
So it's important to choose the ones that will help you achieve your specific objectives.
All right. So you've got, a few different platforms going. Are there any like tips for managing multiple marketplaces effectively?
Absolutely. First off, you'll want to make sure that your inventory is synced across all platforms.
Okay.
There's nothing worse than selling an item on one platform only to realize it's out of stock on another.
Oh, man, that sounds like a nightmare.
It can definitely be a headache, but luckily there are tools that can help with this.
Okay.
Software like Sellbrite or Channel Advisor can connect to multiple marketplaces and keep your inventory levels consistent.
Oh, nice. Okay, that makes sense. Any other tips for juggling multiple platforms?
Well, each platform has its own set of rules and policies.
Right.
So make sure you understand the specifics of each one to avoid any issues.
Right. Like you mentioned earlier, what flies on eBay might not fly on Amazon.
Exactly. You also want to tailor your product listings and branding to each platform's audience.
Okay.
What works on Etsy might not resonate on Poshmark.
That's a great point. So it's not just about like copying and pasting your listings.
No.
It's about really understanding the nuances of each marketplace and tailoring your approach accordingly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, don't forget about customer service.
Right.
Make sure you're responding to inquiries and resolving any issues promptly on all platforms to maintain a positive reputation.
That's key no matter where you're selling.
Okay.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground on alternative platforms, which is super exciting. But let's circle back to eBay for a moment. What are some things that like successful sellers do to like stay ahead of the game and constantly like improve their operations?
One of the most important things is staying adaptable.
Okay.
The world of e-commerce is constantly changing eBay's rules, and policies are always evolving, trends come and go,
Right.
new technologies emerge. You've got to be willing to learn and adapt to stay competitive.
Right. It's not a set it and forget it kind of business.
No, not at all.
You've got to stay on top of things.
Absolutely. Attending webinars, reading industry blogs, connecting with other sellers. Those are all great ways to stay in the loop and learn new strategies.
Networking is so crucial in any business, but especially I think in the fast-paced world of e-commerce.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like having a support system and a think tank all rolled into one.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to experiment.
Right.
Try different pricing strategies, listing formats, product categories, see what resonates with your audience and generates the best results.
It's all about testing and optimizing.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of optimizing, I'm curious, what are some common mistakes that you see eBay sellers make that could be like hurting their profits?
One of the biggest mistakes is not taking professional quality photos.
Okay.
You know, your photos are the first thing buyers see, and they can make or break a sale.
Right. Blurry cell phone pics just aren't going to cut it.
No, not anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what about product descriptions? Any tips for making those like stand out?
Be detailed and specific.
Okay.
Don't just list the basic features. Highlight the benefits of your product and why it's better than the competition.
Okay.
Use keywords that buyers are likely to search for,
Yeah.
and make sure your descriptions are easy to read and free of errors.
It's like writing a mini sales letter for each product.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so we've got photos and descriptions covered. What about pricing? Any strategies there?
Well, pricing is a bit of an art and a science. You got to factor in your costs, the competition, and what buyers are willing to pay.
Right. You don't want to price yourself out of the market, but you also don't want to undervalue your products.
Exactly. One strategy is to offer free shipping.
Okay.
Buyers love free shipping.
They do.
And it can make your listings more competitive.
Right. But you got to make sure that you're factoring those shipping costs into your pricing so you're not, losing money.
Right. Exactly. Another strategy is to offer bundled deals or discounts for multiple purchases. This can encourage buyers to spend more and can help you move inventory faster.
I love those like multi-buy deals.
Me too.
Okay, so we've talked about pricing strategies, photos, descriptions. What about customer service?
Yeah.
What are some tips for creating a positive experience for buyers?
Communication is key. Respond to inquiries promptly and professionally.
Okay.
Be helpful and courteous, even if you're dealing with a difficult customer.
Right, because those positive reviews can make a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely. Word of mouth is incredibly powerful, especially online. Happy customers are more likely to leave positive reviews and recommend your shop to others.
And those reviews can really boost your visibility and credibility on eBay.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got adaptability, networking, experimenting, photos, descriptions, pricing strategies, and customer service.
Yeah.
Anything else we're missing?
Well, one thing that often gets overlooked is the mindset of a successful eBay entrepreneur.
Okay.
It's not just about having the right tools and strategies. It's about having the right attitude and approach to business.
Okay, let's talk about that mindset.
Right.
What are some characteristics of, like, successful eBay sellers?
They're passionate about their products.
Yeah.
They genuinely enjoy what they're selling.
Right.
And that enthusiasm shines through in their listings and interactions with customers.
Mhm.
They're also incredibly driven and resourceful.
Right. They're not afraid to hustle and figure things out as they go. They're problem solvers, not problem dwellers.
Exactly. And they're constantly learning and striving to improve their operations. They understand that e-commerce is a dynamic field.
Yeah.
And they're always looking for ways to stay ahead of the curve.
So it's not just about, like, making a quick buck. It's about building a sustainable business for the long haul.
Exactly. It takes time, effort, and dedication to build a successful eBay business, but with the right mindset and a commitment to continuous learning, it's absolutely achievable.
So inspiring. And speaking of inspiring, before we wrap up, I want to touch on those success stories we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
The eBay sellers who went from, like, side hustle heroes to full-blown entrepreneurs. What can we learn from their journeys?
Well, one of the biggest takeaways is the importance of finding your niche.
Okay.
You know, these successful sellers all focused on specific product categories
Right.
where they could develop expertise and stand out from the competition.
Right. So instead of trying to sell everything under the sun, they found a specific area that they were passionate about.
Right.
And became the go-to source for those products.
Exactly. They also invested the time and effort to create high-quality product listings with detailed descriptions and professional photos.
Mhm.
They understood the importance of showcasing their products in the best possible light
Right.
and making them irresistible to buyers.
Presentation is everything.
Okay.
Okay. So they found their niche. They nailed their listings. What else contributed to their success?
Well, they all prioritized exceptional customer service.
What?
They went above and beyond to ensure buyer satisfaction, prompt communication,
Yeah.
quick shipping, generous return policies.
Yeah.
They understood that happy customers lead to repeat business and positive reviews, which ultimately helped them climb the eBay ranks.
So it's not just about making the sale. It's about building relationships and creating a loyal customer following.
Exactly. And their stories are proof that with the right strategy, a little bit of hustle, and a willingness to learn, success on eBay is totally achievable.
It's so inspiring. It's amazing to see what's possible when you combine passion with a smart approach to selling on eBay. Man, talk about a jolt of inspiration.
I know, right?
Hearing about those eBay success stories, like, really gets you thinking about, like, what's possible, you know?
It's a great reminder that it's not just about luck.
Right.
It's about strategy, dedication, and constantly honing your skills. And honestly, a little bit of passion goes a long way.
Totally. So as we wrap up this deep dive into building a real eBay business,
Yeah.
what are some of the, like, key takeaways you want listeners to, like, walk away with?
First and foremost, remember that this is a business.
Right.
Even if it starts as a side hustle, you know?
Right.
Treat it that way from the beginning. Get your legal ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Keep those records organized and understand your tax obligations.
Right, because nobody wants a surprise visit from the tax man.
Yeah.
And beyond the legal stuff, what are some, like, other must-dos for success?
Well, finding your niche is crucial.
Okay.
What can you offer that's unique or special? What are you passionate about? Become an expert in your product category.
Yeah.
And let that knowledge shine through in your listings.
It's like that saying, be a big fish in a small pond. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Focus on what you do best.
Exactly. And speaking of listings, never underestimate the power of high-quality photos and detailed descriptions.
Right.
Think of your listings as your storefront.
Right.
You want them to be inviting,
Yeah.
informative, and visually appealing.
It's all about making that great first impression.
Yeah.
Right? And then once you've got those customers clicking, what's the secret to keeping them happy?
Customer service, customer service, customer service.
Yeah.
Respond to inquiries quickly and professionally. Be helpful and understanding, and go the extra mile to resolve any issues.
Right.
Happy customers are your best advertising.
Totally.
They'll leave positive reviews, recommend your shop to others, and
Right.
come back for more.
It's all about building those long-term relationships, not just making a quick sale.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got the legal foundation, finding our niche, nailing those listings, and delivering top-notch customer service. Anything else crucial to eBay success?
Don't be afraid to experiment and learn as you go.
Okay.
Try different pricing strategies.
Yeah.
Test different listing formats. Explore new product categories. The world of e-commerce is constantly evolving, so stay curious,
Right.
stay adaptable, and never stop learning.
And remember those amazing eBay entrepreneurs we talked about? They didn't achieve success overnight.
Nope.
It took dedication, perseverance, and a willingness to, like, learn from their mistakes.
No.
But most importantly, they had passion.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
They were excited about their products. They were
Yeah.
committed to their businesses, and that enthusiasm was contagious. It's that spark that can really set you apart in the crowded world of e-commerce.
So to all our listeners out there who are ready to take their eBay game to the next level, remember this. You've got this. Arm yourself with the right knowledge, put in the effort, and never lose sight of your passion. Who knows? Maybe you'll be featured in our next round of eBay success stories.
And if you hit a roadblock or need some extra guidance, remember there are tons of resources available.
Yeah.
Online forums, Facebook groups, eBay's own seller support. You don't have to navigate this journey alone.
That's such an important point. Building a business can feel overwhelming at times, but remember you're part of a community. Reach out, ask questions, learn from others who have been there.
And most importantly, enjoy the ride. Building an eBay business can be challenging, but it can also be incredibly rewarding.
Right.
So embrace the ups and downs, celebrate your successes, and never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of eBay business. We hope you've gleaned some valuable insights, actionable strategies, and maybe even a little inspiration along the way.
Happy selling, everyone.
See you next time.